There are things that people bring up about EU5 quite consistently in things that they complain about. Mercenary spam being the absolute biggest one. Um, it's not my most egregious pain point right now, but merc spam is the one that more people seem to have a problem with in general. My personal pain point is trade being so disappointing. And it seems like my pain point and the majority's pain point is actually both being addressed in 1.3.11, which I'm not actually sure when is going to come out. Hopefully soon. But this is going to be apparently the last Tinto talk before they're going to start talking about what's in 1.4. So this might be one of the last patches. Who knows? We'll see. Overall, they consider 1.3 to be a success, partly because of the open beta period, but not everything has been ironed out yet, of course. But 1.3.11, changes related to trade, halved the base merchant maintenance cost to ease early game trade profitability. We're going to have more money in the early game. Awesome. I like that. I think that's good. I think there has been cases where balancing has happened in response to the very outliers of the player base. And this is said with all due respect, you're clearly an amazing player, but generalist should not be the standard that we're all set to when it comes to how to make a profit out of trade. And trade shouldn't be balanced around somebody who is not just generalist, who is interested in doing everything like manual trade. And I know generalists doesn't do all manual trade, but that shouldn't be the norm. And if balancing is done at that like level, then I feel like the majority of people are going to fall behind, and that's not fun. So this definitely going to help with that. Base trade range now wider. Merchant capacity penalty for trading beyond it is less steep. More neighboring markets now fall within free range, and stretching past it costs less extra capacity per unit of distance. So yeah, mid-game trades are also going to be really, really nice. Obviously, this helps the early game, but mid-game trades for, I don't know, taking iron from Brazil back to Europe because Europe is iron-starved, maybe going to be a little bit better. Things are not going to be in such drastic, like, low supply. That's really, really good. And obviously, you're going to make more money. All countries now have a base 10% income from trade, regardless from crown power. Awesome. Venice, for example, starts with incredibly low crown power, despite being the trading nation of the early game. They make very little from trade because of the crown power situation. All of their early government reforms give them horrific crown power penalties, and they often can't reach the 25% threshold for not losing trade from crown power. So this is also going to help a lot. Merchant maintenance efficiency in the trade panel now shows actual maintenance cost reduction instead of raw stacked bonus percentage. Good, make things more easier. For the people who are complaining about mercenaries, merc pools will now refill from local populations significantly more slowly. Exhausted companies take longer to replenish, making sustained merc use a harder resource commitment. Okay. Recruiting merc company from a region now properly draws from that region's pool of mercenaries available for hire. This feels like it's always been the case, or it's always been the way it's described to be the case. So, okay. Is that a bug that's been fixed? I don't know. I still feel like the main problem people are coming across is an economic related one. The AI likes to hoard money, and then when they're at war, they spend all of the money. I still think the best solution that I have thought of is just to steal Imperator's Merc limit mechanic. Depending on country size, what reforms and privileges and crap that you have, you can have a certain number of merc companies, and you can't go over that. Seems like a pretty easy solution to me. Maybe it's been thought of and discarded. I don't know. These fixes seek to address some of the frustrations some players have with mercs and trade. They're open to feedback, so let us know what you think. All right, well, consider this my feedback. Try out the Imperator system here, and this all looks nice. Beta retrospective. When we launched the 1.3 into beta, it wasn't the most stable. Yeah, don't say. Players were quick to point out some issues with pop counts as well as diseases. Thankfully, both these major issues were issued. They were solved in 132 and 134. When it comes to more general feedback they received throughout the beta period, one of the primary sources was the daily feedback threads on the PDX forums. They also took feedback from Discord and Steam beta feedback areas, and then, yeah, they received over 1,600 replies on the 27 threads on the forums. So these are the various things. I'm going to tilt my head. They got first impressions, priority changes, the Guelphs and Gibellines. I've heard a lot of people complaining about Guelphs and Gibellines, like a lot of people recently as well. I think there was a Reddit thread I saw from yesterday saying that it was not working very well. Italian Wars as well. I saw somebody complaining that they were like in the war to get the final provinces, like they were at 190 and they were going to take 10 locations in the war that they were in, but then they reached the 50-year gold limit, and then the situation just ended and they felt quite unhappy with that. Understandable, really. But yeah, all these threads, you can see how popular or not popular they were. So a lot of people wanted to talk about the estate interactions, 130 replies there. A lot of people wanted to talk about societal values, about the combat and warfare, and then do some general feedback and such as well. Although they were not able to reply to all feedback, if you posted one, it was logged and accounted for. They heard some people like the idea of shorter updates while in beta phase, something more akin to the frequency they used on release. The truth is, this isn't a very appealing strategy to them for a few reasons. Having more structured weekly release cycle like they used in the beta period means less likelihood for things to slip through the cracks. So while they won't be changing the update cycle anytime soon, they'll be making some changes to the beta process for next time. So 1.4's open beta, they're going to cut down the daily threads and instead wrap up more topical mega threads that function in the same way and same quantity, but they're available from the start. They're also going to be utilizing more forms similar to the weekly forms they used in 1.3. Help us achieve a few things. Yeah, just on the topic of these daily threads, having them one at a time and stuff like that. If I'm playing early in the beta period, early in the month, and I have a real big complaint about societal values or about colonization or about the new Italian content, there's no feedback down here. And maybe by the time it gets to, you know, day 14, I'm like, I'm over this beta, I'm gonna play something else. And I don't stick around on the forums to complain about the stuff here when I experienced it down here. So yeah, having more topical mega threads and available from the start, I think that's a really useful idea. The new forums lets them see who's willing to give their time giving feedback, lets those who want to give specific feedback not write an entire reply post about it, and it's simpler, more easy, and more reliable for them to get feedback. Nice. So there will be a 1.3 survey coming soon as well, so we'll see how that goes. There was a 1.1 survey where about 65% thought there was an improvement with 1.1. All right. Hopefully 1.3 is going to come with some similar numbers. These seem, I mean, I don't know, losing about 15% of the player base every update doesn't seem sustainable, but we'll see. And then you can see all the different things that they responded in the survey. Good for them. So 1.4, next week they're going to be sharing some 1.4 news with us. They'll be sharing this on the 22nd of July, which is the day after my birthday. And they'll have their first real 1.4 Tinto Talk on the 29th. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, next week we'll get Vision and then real Tinto talk on the 29th. More pretty pictures. Yes, Roy yapping. Fair enough. All right. Interesting. Hopefully these things are going to fix. Well, this seems to be some way towards fixing my issues. I'll give it a try, see what I think. Change to Mercs. We'll see if that changes things for people. I suspect it won't, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video, which, I don't know, hopefully won't take a week this time. It's probably been the longest time between videos for quite some time for me. But it is what it is. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.